Go to Infendo.com and join our Discord and ask us a question.
We put the donkey in Donkey Kong. Infendo Radio is on now.
Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Infendo Radio, episode 656. Despite what you heard a little trick, a little auditory hallucination, a little foolja moment here, because despite hearing Justin's voice just now, he's not actually here with us. He's gone. He's gone forever. We killed him off. We did it. We finally chose one, and we chose Justin. So it's Eugene and I. Tonight, it's just the two of us sitting here alone.
Justin called in sick, unfortunately, so we're here picking up the slack. I'm running bar and register, and Lucas is running drive-through. So we're just doing the best we can.
I'm on drive-through. I'm getting all those tips, but yeah, we've got a show for you tonight because even though we are at our bare minimum for doing a show, we are at bare maximum for news because there was a Nintendo Direct, and it was kind of there would have been an E3 announcement, I think, if there was more stuff to announce direct. So it was kind of a big one. There's a lot of stuff that got covered. Eugene and I, funny enough, have very different opinions on a lot of the content that was covered. So this will be a nice little back and forth we'll have for you tonight. Kind of a good person two-man show, because I think we'll be able to offer a lot of competing viewpoints. But before that, Eugene, how are you doing tonight? Where can the people find you?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. Happy that we are on this side of summer because it's finally starting to get cool here in New Mexico. So Lord have mercy. It was a hot one. I'm glad that the windows are open and the rain smell is coming in.
Yeah, I woke up today and it said it's going to be 82 degrees, but it's going to feel like 90 degrees. So
gross.
That's apparently where we are right now. And then it storms every night. But otherwise, just dandy. Well, anyway, enough about the weather. You came here for Nintendo and Nintendo news, and that's what we've got for you tonight. So, like I said, there was a big one. Eugene, do you mind if I just kind of I think what we'll do is I'll mention a game, we'll give our opinions, and then we'll move on. Does that sound good?
I think that's the only way to. That's the way to do it. I think, yeah.
All right, let's do that. So let's start with the big one, the which I think was last actually out of the announcements. I think this one was the final announcement, but it was a big one for some of us here. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, which is the new official subtitle for the new Legend of Zelda game, which is a direct sequel. I think first time we've ever had this, other than Majora's Mask, a direct sequel to a mainline Zelda game. So we got our first look at kind of what the game looks like. I guess we've kind of technically seen some little bits and bobbles in the initial trailer back when they were calling it Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever. But I don't know. What do you think, Eugene? Are you more excited after seeing the footage? Where's your hopes and dreams? So what are you thinking about?
I'm the same excited. I think I was already at an 11 before. I don't think that this changed that. It's cool that we have a name now. It's cool that we have a date now. Let's just hope that they don't miss that date type of thing. Usually if Nintendo puts a hard date though, they usually make it. So, but I guess, we'll see.
They don't do that. But that's a far date. That was something that threw me off. When they first pushed it back, they said it was going to be spring of 2023. So I was thinking March, This is coming out in late May, right? Right. May 20 something. So it's
almost a full year.
It's a while off here. We got some time to kill before this game comes out. Like you, I am also at the same level of excitement. It just kind of looked like Breath of the Wild to me, I didn't see anything that made me go, this is going to change my entire opinion on this franchise. I didn't see anything that made me go, I hate this more than I've ever hated a game that's ever existed. It just looks like Breath of the Wild. So I'm going to have to wait. And I think I remember my exact thought being, I need to hear what Eugene thinks about this game before I pick it up when I was watching the trailer. So I'm going to wait for your opinion.
I think that's probably because you know that I'll tell you the truth
Yeah.
type of thing, like you'll
Oh,
know
yeah,
about,
you give
hey,
me the straight dope. Yeah.
I'm at 11, Lucas, but you're not gonna like it type of thing, so
Yeah,
yeah.
because you know what I like, you know what I don't like, you know what will put me over the fence and what'll keep me, so yeah, I'm counting on you, buddy. Keep
Sure.
me informed.
Yeah,
So
that was
that's
the
Breath
big
of the
one, I think, for
Wild.
just about everybody, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
think that's what everybody's kind of waiting for. Maybe not you particularly, but that was what
Yeah,
they ended the trailer with. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the big one for a lot of people, and I understand that as much as I don't endorse it. I did find it interesting that it is not like the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom. It is just the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So this is being billed as its own separate thing, which makes me wonder: are Zelda games just going to be Breath of the Wild games from now on? Is that like the trend that we're going down here? I'll be curious to see. I will be.
I hope so, but I know you don't.
Terrified. I hope not. I will be terrified to see. So. Yeah, I don't know. We'll keep watching and keep complaining as we do. Another game I really want to complain about was actually the game that made first bill on the Nintendo Direct, which was Fire Emblem Engage. The guy / girl that is your main character looks like a weird Yu-Gi-Oh character. Like, I was not a fan of the deep blue and deep red hair, seemingly like mismatched on his head.
Sure.
The gameplay gimmick felt weird and like kind of nostalgia baity, where it's like, oh, you can summon Marth and all of the old characters. I don't know, it doesn't feel like a real Fire Emblem game, and I think it's supposed to be like the next mainline Fire Emblem game, but it felt more like one of those kind of like gimmicky fan games that they throw in like to kind of kill time between the main games. So sure. I don't know. It didn't wow me. Like, it didn't make me think, I gotta play this, I don't know. What about you? Any opinions?
I like Fire Emblem, but the last one that really got me was the GameCube one, quite honestly, Path of Radiance. I really liked that one. And I really liked the 3DS, I guess, ones. What other ones were they? Were those the newest ones? I think they were fine.
There was one on Switch, the Byleth.
I didn't play that one. Didn't play that one, actually.
I started that one and I was enjoying it, and then I hit like a hard stop, and it was like before the time skip portion of the game, so I missed a lot of that game. But
see, the 3DS ones got me fine, but I really got turned off by the I'm pretty sure there were like 2 versions of it or something like that, and some of them had, I think, 3 versions.
Yeah, so there were 2 3DS games. The one I fell in love with and my introduction to the series was Fire Emblem Awakening, which was the one with Robin and Chrom and the future babies and the zombies and everything. And then the other one that came out was Fates, and that had 3 games. That had like the light side, the dark side.
That's where I dropped off.
It was too much game. Yeah,
that's where I dropped off. Yeah. And then I feel
totally
like I feel like when the Switch one came out, I was like, but I still haven't even finished like 2/3 of this other one that I paid for, type of thing, So I don't know, maybe it's not fair, but I'm just not ready for a Fire Emblem game.
I get it. And again, it just like the mood, the atmosphere, the character design, that matters a lot to me in a Fire Emblem game. And these characters just don't look like, I'm trying to picture this dude in Smash Bros, and I can't see it. He just looks weird and stupid. And like, I don't know. It reminded me of that weird Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem game where you could like summon Marth and he was like a pop star and stuff. And it just doesn't feel like a real Fire Emblem game, So I'm not that impressed. I wasn't that interested in this one.
I know Japan's going nuts for it because Japan loves themselves from Fire Emblem, but it's just not for me. So that's fine.
Not my cup of tea either, but I'm sure there's going to be Fire Emblem fans out there who are excited for it. So more power to them. It Takes Two is a relatively small, I don't know if it's technically indie or third party, but it was a small game that is kind of like a co-op platformer. I think I've seen it on other systems. It is coming to Switch. I don't have a number 2, so I have 0 interest in co-op platformers. What about you? Any interests?
I want to play this game because it won a bunch of Game of the Year stuff. I think that they have, I might be wrong here, so don't quote me on this. I think you can play it single player somehow, but it's like best played co-op type of thing.
Kind of like how I got through Snipper Clips. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But it's supposed to be really good. So like, a highly esteemed game like this coming to the Switch, I guess, somebody's going to want it.
Always good news.
I'll probably pick it up if it ever comes on like a deal. However, I think it might also be on like, one of the stores that I already have like for free, like Game Pass or something. Yeah. So
probably.
it's always hard for me to justify buying a game on Switch if I have it for free somewhere else type of thing,
Mhm.
So, but no, I mean, I'm sure it'll make somebody happy. Just
Yeah.
not me, right? Not me today.
That's like the theme of this announcement for me. Like this whole series of announcements is, I'm sure somebody out there is gonna like it, but it ain't me. Kind of,
Sure.
I don't know. That's where I'm at with these. Fatal Frame: Mask of the Lunar Eclipse is a Wii game that is actually getting ported over to the
Looks
Switch.
spooky.
I have always wanted to play a Fatal Frame game. I never have. Maybe this will finally be the Halloween that I try one. I don't know, but
I
yeah,
played the
it
original.
exists.
I don't remember it though, so that's
Yeah.
probably not good for the game. I the game that I'm thinking of is not it. I'm thinking of the Silent Hill game where you had the Wii
Mhm.
controller up to your ear like a phone or whatever.
Didn't Fatal Frame do some gimmicky stuff too? Like, didn't the 3DS one come with like a booklet that you had to like use the 3DS camera to photograph or something?
I
And
think you're
I
right,
swear
actually.
it did some stuff like
Like there
that.
was like
Yeah.
ghosts or something that you had to find with the
Yeah.
3DS camera or something. I
Yeah, like
think you're
the
right
AR
about
or
that.
something.
Mhm.
I feel like that was a thing. But anyway, this is the Wii one. I've never played any of them, so I don't know if this is a good one or a bad one. The fact it's getting ported means it's probably a good one, probably.
Mhm.
But yeah, that exists. So maybe this one was on my radar. I kind of skipped through a lot of the trailer because I was watching the trailer like 40 minutes late. Like I
Mhm.
woke up and I did all my stuff and then
I did the
like
same
finally
thing, and I was scrubbing
yeah, so I
through.
scrolled. So this was
Mhm.
one that I saw and I was like, interesting. Scrolled past it, kind of
Mhm.
thing. Because I already knew kind of what it was and I didn't really care to watch the whole thing. But yeah,
Sure.
so that exists. Eugene, have you played Xenoblade Chronicles 3?
No, I have not. I don't know that I have any intention to do so. It's a lot of game, and
Yeah.
it's just very intimidating for me to get into that series right now.
Yeah, I get that. I've tried to get into the original Xenoblade Chronicles like 4 times, and I never make it that far. Like I've not pushed through. So I
This
know the
Blade
plot
Lady
because
looks cool.
I wikied it. Yeah, she's a new DLC character for the expansion pass. They're getting more expansion pass content. So that was something. Didn't really do anything for me because I don't play this game and I don't think I probably will. I actually, fun story, I think I might have told this before, but I own the prequel game expansion that came out for Xenoblade
Oh
Chronicles
yeah.
2, the Torna Kingdom one,
Mm.
because it looked a little more grown up. Like the characters were more mature. They weren't little baby boys running around with giant anime girl swords and stuff. So I was like, maybe this will be the one for me. I got through like the opening plot. I put it down. I never picked it up again. So I have plenty of Xenoblade to play if I ever
Sure.
want to play it. I just don't know. Just bring Xenoblade Chronicles X to the Switch. That's all I want. Just put that game on the Switch. Or better yet, make a new one. I know it probably didn't make good money because people hated it, but I liked it. So make it a thing. Come on.
I would buy it. I would buy
Yeah,
X.
I mean, I loved X, dude. It was so much fun.
I liked
But
X.
that's the kind of RPG that I like. I like make your own character, make a giant robot, go out and blow up a bunch of aliens, This one we were talking about this pre-show. This is one that I was really excited for until I found out what it was. Fist of the North Star, for those of you who don't know, is a super old, like the Beethoven of old school like shonen animes. You're already dead, that whole thing. And I saw a trailer for this game that had Fist of the North Star in it, and I was like, oh my god, are they porting over the Wii U Dynasty Warriors game? Are we getting a brand new Fist of the North Star game?
Nope.
This looks incredible. And then they showed that it's a fitness boxing game. So that ruined any hype I had for this title. But if you enjoy two very obscure hobbies, old school anime and fitness boxing on your Switch, this might just be the game for you. So
I mean, it looked like it had some potential. Like it gave me, and I don't know if I'm just like reading into it too much and like just
well, you're the
inventing
positive one tonight, so you have to spin a positive tale here.
It looked like it could be kind of like Puzzle Quest-esque, where you're like mixing two genres. So like if they're mixing like fighting / RPG / like actual real life boxing, might color myself intrigued. I can't say that I'm gonna buy this like at launch unless it's getting like super rave reviews, but
Yeah.
it's a game. Looks interesting.
I'm pretty disinterested. Yeah, I mean, if it's your jam, let us know, I guess. I'd be curious to hear if anybody actually is interested in this one. I feel like the IP itself is so obscure that like people aren't going to be jumping on this one, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a huge Fist of the North Star fan base out there that I just don't know about, and that's going to be a thing. Eugene, I know you've played a game called Tunic quite a bit. You got into that for a while. That was kind of your I keep wanting to say Dark Souls, Elden Ring kind of detox game.
Yeah.
Well, it's coming to Switch on September 27th.
Yeah, it is.
So I know you probably won't be rebuying it because you already got it, but like, it's kind of cool.
That's what I was just that's kind of the same theme as before, right? Like I can't see myself buying this game on the Switch because I've already got it free on another platform. If I want to play it, I can just boot it up there. But it is cool for people who are like Switch only, because they much like the It Takes Two, this game was getting pretty rave reviews. A lot of people were talking about it in like game of the year type discussion. So it is really cool that it's coming to Switch for people that may only have a Switch type of thing.
Front Mission. I know nothing about this series. Do you?
You like Max, so it might be for you. I don't know.
It looked kind of old. Like it looked very. I remember thinking this game looks old, like too old for me to get into. But I don't know. Maybe I'll see.
The older Front Mission games, I'm pretty sure were like from the 90s, like the first ones. So yeah, it's an old series. Yeah,
but that exists.
It's coming. Yeah, I like it. It's cool for people who want it, but like the theme of this episode, not for me. I don't think on this one.
Kind of the same. Story of Seasons is I think this is the original Story of Seasons.
Yeah, I think it's the according to this article I'm reading from Polygon, looks like it's the original GameCube game.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I think I've got this right. I could be completely wrong. If I am, tweet at us, let me know. But I think Story of Seasons is what the original Harvest Moon developers had to become when the company that owns Harvest Moon kept the license to Harvest Moon, and the guys who developed Harvest Moon, like the individual people, like left the company or whatever. So like the Story of Seasons games are more like Harvest Moon games now, and the Harvest Moon games are more like trash now. That's my understanding of it. Having not played either of these games in like 15 years, that's my current understanding of how this like weird, like pseudo-political video game climate thing is. So, if you're interested in playing their first game, I guess, since they jumped ship and became their own thing, this is your opportunity to do so. And I know that this series has lived on for a while, so it might be good, but that doesn't come out till summer of 2023. So you got a little bit of a wait, which is kind of a bummer, but Splatoon 3 Splatfest this weekend, this Friday. Probably by the time you're hearing this, it will already be over. But yeah, there is a Splatfest coming up. The theme is, it's so weird that there's like 3 teams now. This is going to be really bizarre to get into. What would you bring to a deserted island? You can either choose gear, grub, or fun. So are you the guy who brings like the tent and the axe and the slingshot? Are you the guy who brings a bunch of food and just preps advance? Or are you the guy who brings a deck of cards, a book, and a Switch? What are you gonna be? Well, if you had Splatoon 3, Eugene, because I know you're like the one holdout right now in our group, what would you choose? Which team would you be on?
I'm team fun all day. Team fun.
See, so is Steve. Steve has also said he's team fun. I'm considering going team fun. And I'm a little worried that Steve isn't going to be on Splatfest this weekend. And I kind of feel like I want to choose team gear, because realistically, if I had to pick one set of things, I'd probably be bringing tools to a deserted island, but I don't know. I'll probably end up choosing fun just for the heck of it. So.
I would be on team fun because it would be a great weekend, and then I'd probably die.
Yeah, but I'd probably die with my tools anyway. So what you gonna do? So yeah, that's coming out this weekend. Hype if this is going to be your first Splatfest. Hope you enjoy it. Good luck to whichever team you choose. Octopath Traveler 2. I get so confused with Square Enix and all of their games and sequels. And like for a while I was thinking, didn't Octopath Traveler already have a sequel? And I was like, no, that was Bravely Default that had like 4. And yeah, so here we are. Octopath Traveler 2 is gonna be a thing. It comes out February 24th. I didn't really know what else to think about it besides that. It's kind of a cool series. You know, I like the graphics. I like the gameplay.
I own the first one and still haven't played it, so this is gonna kick my butt to probably play it before this other one comes out. I don't know if I'll buy 2 when it comes out in February, but
I guess it depends on if you like 1.
Yeah, exactly. I'm excited. I've always been excited about Octo Traveler, but there's always just been something that's come up, if whether it's like another game. I want to say that game came out when like, I don't know, some other big game that I was playing was coming. So it just kind of got pushed by the wayside.
It did kind of get buried under a bunch of other games. I remember that too, because I also have it and I've not put that much time into it. I should really, maybe that'll be like our thing. Maybe like in December, we'll both like pick it up and actually play through it or something. Fae Farm, which is a kind of like farming game.
Looked like Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it's another, again, it exists. It exists. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's interested in it.
Probably not for me.
Probably also not for me. I don't know. A lot of these games just didn't. I remember writing to like Steve after the show and saying, now I know why they didn't do E3 this year, because they didn't have a lot to announce. You know, they're like, there's a lot of stuff we're covering here, but so much of it is like third party, and like it just, I don't know, it just didn't really feel very Nintendo-y this time. So I hate these people so much. Final Fantasy Theatrhythm Final Bar Line is the next Final Fantasy Theatrhythm game, which for those of you who don't know are basically like rhythm games where you tap buttons and do things. I had one of these on the 3DS. It's a cute time waster. It has a lot of Final Fantasy music. As far as basic rhythm games go, it's fun, but it's a basic rhythm game. You know, you're not gonna. It is what it is.
I'll get this game if it's like $20 to $40, but if they're gonna try and pay $60 for this,
I could see 40. They could squeeze 40 out of you, but
because there's gonna be a lot of songs on this one. Like some of the songs that they were playing in the like in the trailer, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get this stupid game.
385 songs in total, and apparently they're also going to be including songs from I think Nier Automata, but maybe any of the other. I don't know if there have been other Nier games. I think there have been. Octopath Traveler, Live Alive, or Live a Live, or Live a Life, whatever that game is called. That's getting some music too. I own that game. Have not booted it up yet, but I did pick that one up a while back. I was like, I gotta give this game a try. So, yeah, if you like Final Fantasy and you love rhythm games, this is the one for you. But again, not really the one for me. One that is, I hate myself because it keeps trying to win me over and it's doing a really good job of it. And I don't want to buy this game, is Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Looked cool.
I played the first one and I liked it for a while, and then it got hard and I got bored and I stopped playing it. This one has like a Rayman DLC that they announced last week, and they're showing off all this footage and it looks really lifelike and vibrant and cool. And I don't know, man, like I don't want this game, but they're making me want it and I don't want to buy it. So
let me tell you, I really like the original, but the reason for that is because I bought it like months and months later. I think around like a Christmas deal, and I paid like $5 for it, for a physical copy, you know?
It'd be a good $5 game. Yeah, maybe I'll get this game when it's $5, because you know this game is going to be cheap eventually. Like for all the marketing they're putting on this game, and they're putting a lot of marketing on this game, I don't think it's got that like mainstream, you know, like this is always going to be a $60 kind of thing. Is it Mario Odyssey? This is not, you know,
right?
So, one that I was kind of excited for was Rune Factory 3 Special. I don't really like these games as much as I used to, because they kind of demand a portion of your life, like an Animal Crossing kind of game. But Rune Factory is a cool series. For those of you who don't know, it's basically oh God, what is it called? The one that everybody loves, the indie one.
Harvest Moon. Oh no, Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley. It's basically Stardew Valley before Stardew Valley was a thing. It's Harvest Moon with weapons and dungeons and exploring and stuff. And like a plot, which is cool. I mean, Harvest Moon is a plot too, but it's a cool series. I got really into it for a while. I own most of the games on the DS at this point. And yeah, Rune Factory 3 is getting a port over on Switch. It looks pretty basic. It looks like an old game, but it was a good one. So you know, if you like whatchamacallit, kind of, I keep blanking on the freaking name. The Stardew Valley, thank you. I'm not trying to do that. I just keep blanking on it, which is ridiculous because it's all we've talked about like for a week and a half. But anyway, if you like that game, you should try Rune Factory because it really does kind of do a lot of the same stuff. And I think it's a really good series. So
yeah,
that exists. N64 Virtual Console is getting a ton. This was probably the most, I hate this. This is probably the most exciting announcement for me. And I hate that because like there were so many games mentioned, but none of them did anything for me. When I found out we could play all 3 of the original Mario parties on the Switch, I was like, okay, sign me up for that. So those are all coming out.
I just need to know if I know I'm jumping the gun here, but I need to know if Pokemon Home is involved in these next 2 games. That
Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2. Dude, if Pokemon Home was a thing, that would be so much fun. You know, it's not going to be, but like,
I know it's not, but that would be the way that would just like, yeah.
Because there were exclusive rewards you could get from Pokemon Stadium. Like that was how you got like Balloon Pikachu, Surfing Pikachu. I think you could get through that too. Like, yeah, there were cool little rewards. Also, for those of you who don't know, the Pokemon Stadium games are for a lot more than just battling with your friends. There are really, really challenging modes in this. The gym leader mode is ridiculously hard. So if you want to like really challenge yourself with old school Pokemon gameplay, Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2, play those games. Also the mini games, really cool. Cool mini games.
Mini games. I don't remember the mini games.
You gotta. There's tons. There's like run as a Togepi and slice things with a Scyther.
Oh my god!
And then if you imported like your scissor, he would slice things. Okay, and if you imported a Pokemon from the Game Boy, which you're not gonna be able to do on this one probably because you know there's no Game Boy games on the system. But if you did and you had a nickname, it would pull a specific like color based on the name, and it would change the way that they were. So like you could have like a blue Mew, and so it was really cool. It was a really cool series. They really need to make a Pokemon Stadium 3. I would be
so here for that.
But yeah, Pokemon Stadium 2, play those. Excite Bike 64, Excite Bike 64, and 1080 snowboarding and Pilot Wings 64. We'll kind of lump those all together. Those are what I would call the games I don't really care about, but they're sporty games, and I'm sure people have fond memories of them. I loved original Excite Bike. I loved Pilot Wings 64. I don't know that I've ever really played a 1080 snowboarding game, so I can't talk about that.
If you like snowboard kids, play 1080. You'll like it. It's not as whimsical, but it has the gameplay
kind of feel. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'll hook me. I was really hoping for a Snowboard Kids announcement. That would have blown my socks off. But you know, it's okay. I'll take what I can get. And then there was this little kind of crappy game that nobody's ever heard about before that I don't think either of us are that interested in. GoldenEye 007. I don't know. It's some nerd game that's coming out. Yeah, that's a thing that's happening. And I'm sure if Justin were here tonight, he'd be dying. But yeah, GoldenEye 007 is coming to Switch.
He's not here, but the Ghost of Justin says that's his most excited game for this direct. So yeah, I guess
he's up. He's hyped.
Yeah, he's ready. I'm excited for it too. Maybe not as much as Justin is, because quite honestly, I'm probably going to get it on Xbox because they got announced for Game Pass as well. And I don't know. It just feels like I would want to play that on the on my controller, my Xbox controller. I don't know. The Switch doesn't feel like the right place for that for me. But I'll have it for free on both, so I guess I can compare and contrast. You know.
Well, the only way I will ever boot this one up is if I can get a group of people to play multiplayer with me and record it and do like my first time playing 007 kind of thing. So, I mean, you're going to have it on this system anyway, you know? So,
yeah, I guess I can boot up I guess I can use my N64 controllers now that I think about it. That would be the way to do it. Well, so I guess we'll stay tuned, and I'm sure that Justin's going to play it. I know I'm going to play it. We might get you to play it, but probably not.
If you ever see me on YouTube, you know it's because these guys actually got together for a night and played it on multiplayer, and I joined in. So see if that happens. I actually thought this was a typo. Boy, these next ones are weird. Okay, Various Day Life is of course it is. It's an RPG developed by designers who worked on Octopath Traveler and Bravely Default. It's actually out now, apparently. So if that's
it came out like right after the event.
I didn't remember this one, so I can't say that I'm interested. What about you, Eugene? You're the RPG guy around here. What are you?
That one I can't say that I was too interested in. It was cool that it was like, oh yeah, it's out now, but like I don't know. There's just other RPGs that I would probably choose above this one at this point.
What about Factorio, which is a production line sim that came out back in 2016? Any hype for this one?
Already played it on other platforms. It's a fun game. It's fun. I think it would. I played it on PC, and I think that's probably where it would be best played because it's kind of like a think about it as like Sim City almost, you know. So like, there's a lot of just like building things type of thing in a grid. So point and click is the way to go. I guess it would probably work on the touchscreen as well, but yeah.
What about IB? This is a 2D exploration game. Apparently it's a remake of a 2012 game that came out in Japan, and it's come out on a lot of other systems. Now we're getting it here. I'd never heard of it before.
I think I missed this one.
Yeah, it didn't really I remember seeing this one in the direct, but it didn't really like capture my attention in any meaningful way.
That must have been in like the montage, I guess, section.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, yeah, because I think I missed that one.
At this point, I was kind of in the zone where I was just kind of like, okay, and there's another one, like, I don't know. It's just, I'm hungry for Nintendo right now. Like, I'm hungry for like, oh my God, by the way, we just created a new F-Zero, that kind of thing. Like, that's what I want right now. And I just feel like I'm not getting that. So this one kind of passed me by. Moving into some Nintendo stuff though, Mario
The
Strikers
next
Battle
three
League,
were all DLC things that I'm kind of excited about.
Yeah, Battle League is getting some new DLC, which is cool. We're getting Diddy Kong, which is one of my most wanted, and we're getting Pauline, which was expected, although not super hype for me. Hoping we get K. Rool at some point. That would be a big one.
I hope there's some cool new items, honestly, is what I'm looking forward to.
Items would be good. Yeah, this game needs a little bit more because it doesn't quite hook me. I like it. It's a good game. It's definitely a good Mario soccer game, but it's the kind of game I find I'm booting up like once every 3 months instead of like once every couple weeks. And I really wish it was a more frequent game for me. But yeah, no, we're getting some new content for that. Looks cool. With Diddy, we're also getting like a barrel costume, which will look good on Donkey Kong too, and a new stadium, which looks to be kind of like galactic themed based on the trailer. So interesting. Unfortunately, I thought that this was coming out in December. This is coming out later this month. The one that's coming out in December is the third Mario Kart 8 Deluxe stuff, and we got to see 2 of the new courses for that. Merry Mountain from Mario Kart Tour, which I've never seen because I stopped playing Mario Kart Tour like month 2, and Peach Gardens from the 3DS, which I'm very familiar with because that was the game that really hooked me.
Peach Gardens was fun.
Yeah. Switch Sports is getting golf, if that's your jam. I'm
actually kind of excited about that.
Sports, yeah, I'm beyond it at this point. Like I played it and I was like, this is a cool game, and then I was like, but I'm done with it. So
that's the one that we are always. It's just like back in 2008 or whenever the Wii came out. I swear, because we're or 6, I guess. Gosh. Anyways, that's what the one that we're booting up when company's coming. Like that's everybody wants to bowl or everybody wants to play tennis type of thing. So golf will be a nice new addition to the lineup there. I feel for us.
Nice. I'm gonna move into just the big ones because there was a lot of other little stuff that we're just all gonna keep saying like, really, I don't really care about it. But there's like 2 or 3 that I want to cover before we get too far gone. Then we'll move into change the system. Okay. Pikmin 4 was probably my biggest announcement, and I guess we kind of always knew it was coming, but also it was one of those things that just kind of seemed like it might never come, and they announced it's coming. They said that they were going to be doing this kind of gameplay thing where you could like view the Pikmin like from their level. I remember that being a thing. Like I don't remember ever not having that as an option. So I'm kind of confused, and I'm curious to see how the game looks and plays. Hope it's good. I felt like Pikmin 3 felt kind of forced and phoned in compared to Pikmin 2, which was like really big and jumbo and had a lot of content. So I'm hoping Pikmin 4 kind of steps up the plate and gives us something really good. So
Sure.
fingers crossed. But I'm excited for this one. Could be good. Could be good.
I'm excited for it a lot. Like
yeah.
I've been waiting for
It's
Pikmin
good.
for a hot minute. Like
Yeah,
the
I love
last one
Pikmin.
was Wii U, right?
The last one was Wii U, yeah, and it was like, okay, to clarify what I was saying, like you beat it in like 10 hours and it's just done, you know? Like Pikmin 2 had so much like end game stuff. Like you beat the game and it's like, oh, find every treasure scattered across this giant map. And it was like this huge ordeal, kind of like it was really fun. Like I want that kind of experience again, you know?
Right.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of developers have been kind of phoning it in, Nintendo included lately. I feel like it's more about like churning stuff out than about like really putting a lot of love into their stuff. So I'm hopeful that they do this one right, because I know this is like Miyamoto's like favorite child. It's like the weirdest kid at the table, and it's the one Miyamoto loves. So I hope it's good. We are also getting some cloud games. We're getting Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil Biohazard, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 are all coming via cloud, which I thought was weird because those are old games, right? Like
Village is actually the new one.
3. Well, Village is new, but 2 and 3, and I think Resident Evil Biohazard, that's just Resident Evil, right? Like the OG.
No, well, I think that they're probably going to do because Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 were recently remade for the new consoles, so they're probably going to be those versions.
Okay. I was like, why are those coming to cloud? Shouldn't those be like on the yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I won't get to play them, and I don't think many people here will, because as far as I know, cloud doesn't really work for any of us. Maybe it'll work for you, Eugene. I don't know. Have you played cloud games?
The cloud games actually do work for me, but since I have an Xbox, I would just opt to get it on, a console that I have. Especially the cloud games are always weird for me, because it's like I'm not gonna pay for a game that I can't like physically download onto my console, that if I happen to like be in the car or something, I can't even play, type of thing, like it.
Yeah, I get that.
That's why BioShock made me so mad. Like I bought that game, but every time that you're playing it, it's checking for internet connection constantly. So like you can't, go out and play that game. It just is impossible. It's frustrating. So yeah.
Skipping over a lot of other potentially minor announcements. Sorry if you're offended and you wanted to hear us talk about them, but we're going to go to the last one on the list here. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. We have been polarized on this one internally, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this one, Eugene. So I really like Kirby's Return to Dreamland. It's a cool game. I remember putting a lot of time into it, playing it with friends. It's really cool. I thought that this remake looked really bad. Gameplay wise, I'm sure it's gonna be fine, but specifically, like, it looks muted. It looks like less detailed than the Wii game. It looks DDD's all weird and malformed, and I don't know. It just they've got weird outlines, and it just looks, I don't know. It looks like a worse version of, like, if you would put the two games side by side to me, and you had said one of these games came out in 2022, and actually 2023, and one of these games came out in like 2012, I would have said the remake was the one that came out on like the Wii in like 2012, and the old one was like the good one, And I don't think I've ever experienced that with a remake before. What do you think? Are you excited for this? Do you not care? Do you think it looks bad? Do you think it looks good? Like, what are your thoughts?
I was indifferent on this game, honestly, anyways. And so when the trailer came, I was like, oh yeah, it looks like Kirby. It wasn't until you posted that like comparison trailer from, I think, like Game Explain, that I, noticed the subtle differences. But I mean, for me, it looks fine. But I wouldn't have gotten it regardless, quite honestly. Kirby games are just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I really like this game. And if this game didn't, I hate saying this because I'm usually not the guy that cares about like the way a game looks, but if this game didn't look the way it looked, I would probably be buying it. But the fact that it looks this kind of ugly to me, it looks like it should be on like the 3DS or something. And if I really want to replay this game, I'll just bust out the Wii, Like I don't want to dump money on a game that I think looks worse. So I don't know. That's kind of where I am with that one, unfortunately. So yeah, this was not a I guess final thoughts here. Not a particularly positive one for me in terms of Nintendo Directs. I kind of came away from it thinking like, God, that was it. Like, but there were a couple of announcements that kind of got me excited. Pikmin is going to be pretty good, and the N64 games was kind of expected but welcomed. I'm kind
Yeah.
of happy that we're pushing through Breath of the Wild. We have a name, we have some gameplay footage and stuff, so I'm curious to see how that game will turn out. But yeah, I was kind of I don't know. I thought this was one of the more lackluster directs from my viewpoint.
I think I
about
came
you?
out about came out overall positive on this direct. I would probably score it like a, I don't know, a B or a B minus. So like not
Mhm.
like an A or an A plus type of direct type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if we missed Bayonetta, but that was one of the ones that I was kind of excited to
Yeah.
get a date for. Although, man, that game feels like it's just been. I feel like it should have been out like last year type of thing, you know.
I
I'm
know,
tired
like
of waiting for that game.
your first thought when you see it is this still isn't a thing? Like really
Right.
yeah, I know.
So
It's
yeah,
yeah.
I still feel like developers, Nintendo especially, are just haven't quite figured out how to develop games during pandemic, you know? Like I don't
Yeah,
even know if Nintendo Japan is like fully back to the office even type of thing. And it
mhm.
shows, you know, it
It does
shows.
show. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just I feel like there's this expectant child in me that grew up in the era of like the N64 and even like the GameCube, and like I want that level of just like here's 50 first party games just regurgitated at you, and some of them are good and some of them are awful and some of them are weird games where you fly around on a dinosaur, like that, like I don't know, I want that. I want like experimentation and trial and error and failure and success and the good and the bad. And I just feel like what we're getting right now is very safe stuff, very like market formulated, like safety stuff. So I don't know,
I
maybe
I would
we'll get
I
more
yes
later.
and no. I would say that I wouldn't want Nintendo to go back to like what they were doing in the GameCube because yeah, while they had a bunch of like super experimental, like it's probably some of their best stuff came out there. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you were a Nintendo only gamer, I remember like
Uh-huh. There
looking
was
at place.
droughts.
Yeah, there was just like time, like
Yeah.
months where you wouldn't get games, you know? So
Yeah.
I don't know that I would want quite that, but you're right, like somewhere in the middle, you know, like where we're getting the chibi robos and like the,
Yeah.
the Mario power tennises and, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just I think I've been thinking about this a lot lately, actually. I've been thinking about Smash Bros a lot lately. I know we have to get to change the system here, but like I just feel like a game like Brawl compared to a game like even like Smash Ultimate, as cool as that game is and as many characters as it has, it just feels like it had more like love squeezed into it. Like it was a little before it was all about like how many like third party IPs can we throw into a game. And I don't know. I'm maybe I'm just feeling nostalgic, and it's like it's not an objective point, but I don't know.
Melee
I
was
miss
my
that kind
sweet
of stuff.
spot there.
Oh, Melee
Brawl,
was beautiful too, but yeah,
Brawl, I
I don't know.
wanted to love Brawl so much, but
You just couldn't
I think
do it.
I think I did it to myself, honestly. Like the Nintendo
Mm,
Joe, so I knew everything was one. And then there
yeah,
was
yeah.
the what was it? Oh yeah, and then the online just killed because I was so excited to play online
The
against people,
online was
and it
Garbo.
just
Yeah.
never
Hmm.
worked. So I
Yeah.
just couldn't get into that. And at that point, like
Yeah.
I wasn't hanging out with the same friend group, so like I didn't really have anybody
Uh,
to play
see,
with.
Brawl was like the game. Like it was like, oh, we're gonna have a birthday party and we're gonna play
I wish I
Brawl for
had that.
15 hours. Yeah, yeah. It I don't know. I miss that stuff. And I don't think it's just so much that I miss that time period. I just kind of think that like they were able to do more stuff that was weird back then. They were able to try things. It was like the
Sure.
cool character back then was like Rob instead of being like Ryu or Ken, or I don't know.
Wasn't
But
We Fit Trainer part of the Brawl lineup? Because Fit Trainer was a weird one too. Or was that
might have been
Smash 4?
that might have been Smash 4. That might have been the 3DS, I think.
I think you're right, actually.
Because that was when we got Mega Man too. Anyway, we've rambled, we've rumbled, but let's get into change the system because we both got
Let's.
some things to talk about. And I think you deserve the opening slot here.
I don't
because
know
you
if
have
you're ready
done-
for that.
So here's the thing. Okay, real quick. The setup for this is so you were talking about your whole thing with this game and how you wanted to beat it, you wanted to beat it, you wanted to beat it. And then the night that we finished recording, like an hour later, you message us and you're like, well, I did the thing. So like, what thing did you do, Eugene? Talk to us. Tell us.
Yeah, I finally got all 1,000 achievement points on Elden Ring, or the platinum trophy, or whatever you want to call it, type of thing.
Bravo.
Got all the things, did all the things, beat the MFer 3 times to get all of the achievements that were required. Went to some areas that were unexplored. It was fun. Elden Ring is pushed far behind me. So that's actually all I want to talk about Elden Ring, because I've been playing so much other stuff in lieu of beating
it's
Elden
like
Ring.
the floodgates have opened now, and all of a sudden you have like 80 free hours every week to devote to like other games, you know?
For real.
Eugene just
So
remembered he had a wife and child.
yeah, I know. They were yeah, they took me back. I immediately went to another game very similar to Elden Ring, Jedi the Fallen Order, I think is the subtitle. I hadn't finished that one yet. It's basically like Dark Souls, Star Wars, not nearly as good. That makes
That's
it. Go ahead.
That's the one with the mocap actor, right? Like the motion capture blonde
Yeah,
dude who's like
the dude from that Showtime show that my wife likes. I can't remember the name. With but there's a bunch of sex in that show.
Gotcha.
Anyways,
Don't know
yes.
what we're talking about, but okay.
I'm gonna have to look it up while we're talking. Anyways, went to that game. I immediately realized, oh yeah, that's why I don't like this game quite as much as the Elden Rings or your Dark Souls, because it's not quite as polished, not quite as refined. It's fun, but I immediately switched the difficulty mode all the way down to the bottom, and now I'm just experiencing the story. I'm almost done with it, I'm fairly certain, but I'm kind of like not stuck, but like there's this platforming sequence that I have to go from like one part of the planet to the other on Dathomir, and I'm not excited about it, so I put it down. But yeah, it's cool. I think it's fun. The story's where it's at. The voice actor of Cal Kestis is what's his name? I'm looking at this right now.
I know that
Cameron guy. Monaghan. He's the guy from Shameless on Showtime.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
One of the kids on there.
I actually do know of that show. I've never seen it, but
yeah, there's a lot of sex, like I said. Another game that I played is called Moonlighter. That game is
that one looks good.
It's fun, actually. It's really fun. It's weird because like you start the game off. I knew what I was expecting going into the game, and I knew what the game was rather going into the game. And then when I first booted it up, I was like, this is not what I was expecting. So it threw me for a loop. And then you die, and then it's like, okay, oh, I was supposed to die type of thing. Oh, the game's really starting type of thing. Okay, I get it. And then then you enjoy the story, and then like, the shopkeeping. If for those that don't know, it's like an RPG, almost like dating sim even type of thing. Like, there's like some stuff like that you do. There's a lot of talking, a lot of reading. If you're not into that, you're not going to be into this game.
Yeah, that's too bad. I thought it was going to be a little bit more roguelite-ish, and
it has that too. It has that too, because you have to go into the dungeon and like fight the monsters, much like your Stardew Valley and everything like that. But it's very heavy on the relationship building. I think that's like what it really is, honestly. So, but that was Moonlighter. Another game I played on Game Pass, Immortality. Wow, this game is weird. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't even know if it's a game, but what it is it's like a bunch of quote unquote found footage. You're playing trying to solve this mystery of this actress and her last couple of films that she did, and you actually get to watch this old-timey footage. I don't know how much money they
like that.
Yeah, they must have spent some weird money on this game because like I don't think that this is like actual found footage. I think like they actually paid recent actors and made it look old timey. But it's cool. And you have to solve the mysteries by like, okay, I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna click on the clipboard and I'm gonna notice that the clipboard says this date. And then it's gonna take me to another video from this date or something like that. Or I'm gonna click on the dress and then it's gonna, take me to a video with her wearing, some kind of similar dress. And then you're trying to unravel the mystery from there. That's really all I'll say about that because A, I haven't played much more than an hour of it. And B, I think the whole point of the game is to,
experience it.
Experience it. Yeah. So if you're into that kind of stuff, it's on Game Pass for free. Pretty fun. Another game I was playing previously and finished completely now that I'm done with Elden Ring, Unpacking. Probably only like a 5 to maybe 10-hour experience if you're trying to get like everything done. But it was enjoyable. I think it's on the Switch and I think it's like $20 and I don't know that I would pay $20 for that game. But alas, it's fun if you can find it on a deal. I played 2 games with my kiddo. And I'll only talk about them briefly. My friend Peppa Pig, that was on Game Pass and he saw the pig and he was like, I need the pig. So we played the Peppa Pig game.
Doesn't quite live up to Elden Ring, but it does its best.
I played a game called Tower Scraper because again, it was free on Game Pass. And it's just like a weird building clicky game. It's not even really a game, quite honestly, but I got 1,000 achievement points out of it. So that was fun. I went back and I played a game called Zuma from the Xbox 360 because I was feeling nostalgic. Played Multiverses. Maybe we could talk about this.
Multiverses.
Because I don't like it.
Twinsies.
It just
does
feels...
it feel very like it wants your money and it wants it hard. Like
not that especially. But when you get into the gameplay, it just feels everything feels kind of floaty. Like what one example that I have is that like when you are falling, you're not just constantly falling because if you like do an attack, you'll like kind of float there in midair for a second type of thing. The physics just feel weird, whereas in a Smash Bros.
It's weird because there have been a lot of Smash Bros clones and like no one's been able to nail that feel. And maybe it's just that they feel that their feel is better, but I don't know. It just I don't think it's just that I've played a lot of Smash Bros. I think it's just Smash Bros feels really good, and that's why they keep making Smash Bros games. That and money, obviously. Sure. They have like oodles and oodles of it, but so does WB. If WB wanted to start doing Smash Bros games like 15 years ago, they very well could have. So I don't know. It's just not quite there. Like I played it for like a half hour and I want to go back to it when it's quote unquote done, but I have a feeling it's not going to be quote unquote done for like 50 years because they're just going to keep adding characters and stuff.
No, I couldn't get into it. I have it still installed, so I'll probably pop back in from now on and time and time again because it's free, why not?
At least it's free to play. So
didn't grab me. Still have a few more. I'm gonna try and rush through these next couple because I didn't put a whole lot of time in, but played Apex Legends with a coworker actually because he's been dying to get me on that game. I'm just not into the first person shooters anymore like I was like back in the college days, so while I did have a good time, don't know that I'll be putting much more time into it. Played a game called Scourgebringer. That was a weird one. I'm probably going to go back to it, but I put it down for a couple of other ones. The aesthetics just kind of, I don't know. They don't really do it for me for a couple of reasons. I want to say it's built in like Unity or something like that, like the same engine that a lot of people are using, because I'm noticing like it's very samey to a lot of indie games that come out type of thing, you know what I mean? So it looks like like one of those, but Actually, I just looked it up. It's using the mono game engine, whatever that is. But it's fun though because the mechanics are really cool. Like when you're using your sword, it's actually propelling you forward. So like
That's
you can
cool.
like kind of like fly actually by just like
I like that.
attacking.
Like, pachoo, yeah,
It's
I like
it's
that.
a roguelike game. So you are trying to the levels are computer generated, so everything it's different every time, randomly generated levels, and you're
Nice.
trying to get blood to buy things or get these little orb things to buy things in the afterlife that will carry with you on subsequent runs. I'm gonna play it some more because it's giving me some pretty like Dead Cells vibes, but I had to put it down because it was just wasn't feeling it as much as I needed to be feeling it. I played some Halo. It's Halo again, much like Apex. Not really into the first person shooter scene, so I don't know that I'm gonna play that all the way through. Played Pac-Man Museum. That was a game that I was not expecting to play very much, but Pac-Man 256 like got me. I hadn't played that one before, but that one's in that collection. That was fun.
Yeah.
Last two, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Finished that one all the way through in co-op actually, and I had a lot more time that with playing with other people, just randoms on the internet.
Oh, cool.
And
I could do that. I like that.
Yep, you can match make. And that was actually really fun. I'm glad that I played the last like half of that game that way because that's the way to do it. You can match up with up to five other people actually. So it's pretty cool. And then the final game, probably the game that I put the most time in, aside from Jedi and Elden Ring, I guess, is Mighty Goose, another game that's on the Switch. Was not expecting to like this game as much as I did, but it's so freaking fun. It's it came out a couple of years ago, I want to say. It's think Metal Slug meets a goose, and you've got Mighty Goose.
I think I've seen that. I think I've seen that in the eShop.
It's so fun. So freaking fun. Oh my God. I have had the best time with this game. I don't know that I would like it, quite honestly, as much on the Switch because I'm enjoying getting the achievement points. And I don't think that Nintendo has a way of tracking the same things.
Hunter. You really got into that.
I don't know why. Like if you put a bar in front of me,
dude.
You put a carrot with a stick there, or like a bar that I have to like make bigger, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Never play a mobile game. Never play a free-to-play mobile game. It will it will devour you.
And with that, I'm done.
Well, you really needed something to do after Elden Ring.
I did.
You really came off that hard. I was thinking you might rest following that game.
No,
you went even harder. Well, I've been playing significantly fewer games, so it might change the system. I'll be gushing over like 2 games as opposed to you talking about 18. But a couple of games I played real quick and that I am actually playing again relatively soon. 7 Days to Die, still playing that. We've kind of have like a weekly get together going on right now, and that tends to be Wednesday right after the show, which is my new like social obligation. But been playing that. It's pretty cool. It's a zombie survival game. It's in I learned the word for this, a voxel, I believe, game engine, or it's a voxel type game, which is just a word for basically Minecraft. It's like it has a seed, it has little like you dig in squares and stuff, but it's not like Minecraft-ish. Like it actually looks like a real world and stuff, which is kind of cool. It's fun. It's a good game. It's not like, it doesn't blow me away, but it's a good excuse to hang out with people for a couple of hours on on a Wednesday night kind of thing. The other game that I played this week that I did really enjoy that I've talked about before is Spirit Island, which is a board game, but I've been playing it through Tabletop Simulator. Really cool game. If you like board games, like strategic board games that go by in like an hour kind of thing, you should check this one out. It's I was gonna say it's free. It's not free. It is available on Steam as like its own like game that you can purchase and then play, like virtually. But if you're the type of person who likes that kind of game, I recommend it. It's one of the best tabletop games I've played. Really cool game. But I don't really have anything else to say about that. I do, however, have things to say about the next 2 games that I've been playing because I've been playing a lot of them. And let's start with the one that probably is less expected, unless you know me, which is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I was going to say,
which is
that's the most expected.
fighting game, and I've been wanting it for a while, and it came out like 2 weeks ago, and I haven't been able to talk about it because it came out like I think Friday after our last show, and then we didn't have a show last week. Think Street Fighter, but with like proprietary characters. And there's 50 of these proprietary characters, so there's a lot of
50 characters. Oh my
50
god!
characters, 4 more coming out as
Smash
DLC,
Bros?
plus one additional character who has like 2 forms, and only one of his forms came out, so he's getting a second form as like a second standalone character. My god, dude, there's like costumes to unlock, there's voices to unlock, there's all kinds of crap to unlock, and I have been spending all my free time just unlocking stuff in this game, and I'm so happy, and I love it so freaking much. You will not enjoy this game if you do not know this series. If you have not watched like all 8 parts of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, this will mean nothing to you. But for someone like me who is a nerd and enjoys this series, it's like heaven for me. And this is an old game. This game came out back in like 2012, 2013. I have it on the PS3. This is like the remake with all the anime voice actors added in, and all the colors are swapped to look like the colors from the anime, but all the old colors are there too, and you can unlock them as a costume. And it's like, it's so good. I'm just having such a good time with it. It's such a fun, like, turn my brain off. I have 20 minutes to kill, so I'm going to go into arcade mode and earn a bunch of money and spend it on a bunch of colors.
Does it have online multiplayer? And if it does, are you doing that?
It does, and I have not touched it, and I probably never will. I don't play fighting games to
Fair
compete
enough.
with people. I play fighting games to look at fancy moves and watch my favorite characters duke it out and hear the cool lines when you put this character with this character. You know, like that's just how I play fighting games. Like I don't want to be challenged in this game. I just want it to be like a nice warm blanket that surrounds me and makes me feel good. So yeah, I put like 50 hours into this game. Have not touched the online, probably never will. A game that I have put in some online hours to, though, is Splatoon 3, which is the other one that I really wanted to talk
I'm glad
about.
one of us has played that one.
I am a wiper boy, Eugene. I have come around to the Splatana wiper. It is my go-to. People say,
"Oh no,
sucks,
I already know what you do. I already know how you play because I remember Splatoon 2."
So basically, it's like a harder, more useful version of the brush. Whereas with the brush, you can kind of just like walk up and just like blah, 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 everywhere. With the wiper, you got to be like aiming at the person, hit, charge, hit, boom, dead, you know, just like that. But you got to be real spot on. So I am committing myself in this game to learning the wiper and mastering this weapon. That is my goal. Whether it turns out to be a good weapon or a suck weapon, that is my goal. So yeah, I've been playing Splatoon 3. I rushed through the story mode.
How is it?
There's a lot to do in the story. It's as good as Octo Expansion. Some people out there, like I heard Steve quote somebody who said, like, it's worth the $60 price tag alone. It's not worth it. But if you like those, like if you like little challenges and learning how to use all the weapons and stuff, it's fine.
I know what I'm getting
to
into then, type of thing. Yeah.
It's good to do when you're sitting down and you want to play Splatoon, but you don't really want to be challenged and you don't want to be stressed, because most of Splatoon is challenging and stressful, you know?
Usually that's what I'll do when either like first thing, like I'll rush through it kind of like you did, or like after I've gotten smacked, just like smoked a couple of times in a row. All right, I'm going to go to, you know, campaign mode type of thing.
So I rushed through it, but now what I'm doing is going back and getting all the things I didn't do. So this game has like a Metroid style map where you have to like touch every part of the map to get 100% clear. And I've been like running in zigzags on the map to like clear it. There's clear every mission. There's little stickers to collect and stuff. See, I've been doing all that stuff in my free time. Just like, okay, where's that 1% of the map that I missed that I have to go find, kind of thing. Oh, it's this little gray edge that looks just like the normal gray edge. How stupid of me, you know? But yeah, it's good. Main Splatoon mode is really good. I actually have way too many videos going up on my YouTube channel of Steve, Justina, and me, and I think even a little Justin maybe, playing that game together online. It's good. It's just Splatoon. Like, it's not any bigger or better than any other Splatoon. It's just more. This could be an expansion pack.
It's different Splatoon, basically.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's just more Splatoon. Like it's it just feels like the same game, you know. So it's not like it's gonna like
Same
blow
game,
your
different
mind
maps.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still it's good. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely the best version of this game, you know. But
Mhm.
I would have easily accepted this as just a big old expansion to Splatoon 2, as like toted as Splatoon 3. Salmon Run is a permanent thing now. So if you ever played
Cool.
that, that's back. It's co-op. You fight a bunch of fish, you get a bunch of eggs, you get cool rewards, kind of stuff.
I hated
And
that was a timed thing on
yeah,
Splatoon 2.
I know, which is why it's nice that it's back permanently. There's a little card game you can play. You have like little tiles. It's kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters almost. Like you put down like
Oh,
pieces of the field and like have to
Hmm.
get more field than the enemy kind of thing. It's cool. I played it.
what is
I
the what's the like in between match like game that you play? Is there anything like that?
So there really isn't like an in-between match, because instead of sitting in like a loading screen waiting for a match to start, you're in kind of an open room where you can like use your weapon and try it out
Interesting.
and stuff. So yeah, and it tends to get like started a lot faster. I've noticed, like you're not just sitting there listening to the same song for like 40 seconds kind of
Right.
thing. So it really does feel more streamlined.
That was like the
Um,
best and worst thing about the other Splatoons, especially like
yeah,
the first one where you have to like, what was the first one? Like the squid jump or something like
yeah,
that.
the little 8-bit like squid jump game and stuff. Yeah, I liked that, but it's definitely nice to just actually be able
Just
to play
get
the game.
in the
I'm curious to
game.
see if
Yeah.
it's a nightmare during Splatfest, but yeah, it's been pretty good. There've been a few disconnects that I don't think were really any of our faults. I think it just kind of happened, but yeah, I mean overall it's been fun. They also have a battle pass, but it's a free battle pass, which is
Oh,
kind of
cool.
cool. It's called the catalog. And yeah, there's like no additional charges or anything, which I appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
You basically just get this catalog score that goes up with your level as you're playing, and every level you get like a new sticker to put on. You get like a little locker that's like their answer to
Mm-hmm.
like apartments. You get a little locker that you can decorate, so it's like, oh yeah, I got a sticker for my locker, or a new banner for my player ID tag,
Right.
or a new emote when I win a match, that kind of thing.
Sure.
So you know, you get those, and I think that expires in late November, and then they're going to do like the next catalog or something like that. But you can go up to like level 100 in that, so that's a whole thing. Then the app has like a tie-in thing where it's like, oh, however much territory you inked, you can contribute toward this guy's trip. And if you make it all the way, you get a little hat that looks like a fry
Oh,
cook
wow.
hat. And like,
I
yeah,
was
there's a
not
lot of
keeping up with the stuff that was happening in this game, apparently.
yeah, there's a lot of little things to keep you busy. So it feels good.
I'm
It's one
definitely
of
going to
those,
get this before the Splatfest end for sure. I need to get on the train before like everybody else gets off it, you know, because that's the way to
for
play
sure. For sure. Yeah. Well, you've probably got at least a year, you know, if not more, honestly, because Splatoon 2 came out like 5 years ago, and I think it only died like 3 years ago.
Sure.
So you got some time. But yeah, no, it's worth playing. It's worth playing. I've definitely been enjoying it. So, you know, it's not
They
going to blow
gotcha.
you away if you only mildly enjoyed Splatoon 2, you're probably only going to mildly enjoy Splatoon 3, but it's probably the most polished version of the game that I've played. So it's kind of the best thing I can say about it, honestly.
Sure.
And then that's it. Those are my big games. So I guess with that,
Guess it's a good
we
thing
will
it was
call
just the
it-
two of us. Holy heck.
Yeah, honestly, really. But yeah, no, thanks for listening, as always. Justin should be back next week, all weather permitting. He did not really die. So my phone will also be back next week. We'll see you guys then. Until then, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.
Adios. Register vote. Damn it.
That too, maybe if you live in a spot where you need to do that. My voting's come and gone.
You don't have anything coming up in November?
I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. I gotta get more informed, Eugene. I've got to go to learntovote.gov and learn to vote.
There's looks like there's some local elections coming up for you in November. So
Well, then
go
I'd
ahead.
better register to. I think I'm already registered, actually. I'm pretty sure I'm like auto-registered or whatever. But anyway, see you guys. Bye.
Oh yeah, we're still recording. Bye.